Have you ever wondered why modern relationships feel so fragile? Why marriages seem to collapse almost as soon as they begin? Why so many people, maybe even you, have started to lose faith in the idea of love? It's easy to hear the usual complaints. People love to say things like, "Oh, young people just don't know how to commit anymore," or, "Back in my day, relationships were built to last." But what if the real reason is far more complex, and honestly, a lot more uncomfortable to admit? What if I told you that this generation isn't afraid of commitment? What if, instead, they're terrified of being destroyed? The institution of marriage isn't dying because we've suddenly stopped wanting love. It's struggling because the world around us has changed at lightning speed, while our understanding of relationships has been left behind. Think about it. For most of history, marriage wasn't primarily about love. For our grandparents and the generations before them, it was often a practical arrangement. It was about survival, financial stability, and social standing. People got married for convenience, to combine resources, or because society, religion, and family expected them to. The choice was rarely just about a deep, personal connection. But today, that's all different. We're a generation that has the freedom to choose. We aren't getting married because we have to for survival. We aren't being forced into it by our communities or families nearly as much. So, when people choose to get married now, it's for a powerful reason, because they genuinely believe in love. They are looking for a soulmate, a true partner. And here's the paradox, the real twist in the story. Love has never demanded more from us, and at the same time, it has never felt more dangerous. The emotional stakes are higher than ever before. Let's be real for a moment. People today are exhausted, we are emotionally drained, financially stretched thin, and mentally overloaded. The world is a tough place, and we're all just trying to keep our heads above water. On top of that, almost everyone is carrying some kind of baggage. We all carry trauma from our pasts. We all have trust issues that whisper doubts in our ears. Think about your own experiences or the stories you hear from friends. Everyone has a story of being betrayed, ghosted, or used. Everyone knows the pain of being abandoned, replaced, lied to, or cheated on. It's become a shared collective wound. Many of us are products of a world filled with brokenness. We were a generation raised on broken homes, watching our parents' marriages fall apart. We grew up with broken promises from institutions and people we were supposed to trust. We were fed a diet of broken expectations about what life, careers, and relationships would be like. From a very young age, we learned a harsh lesson. Nothing is permanent, not jobs, not financial stability, and certainly not people. So, is it any surprise that modern love often comes with shields up? We approach relationships with defense mechanisms already in place. Instead of opening ourselves up with vulnerability, we subconsciously create exit plans in our minds, just in case things go wrong, instead of dreaming of forever. We're trying to protect ourselves from getting hurt again. Amen. And then there's the even darker truth about how marriage is perceived today. For many, it no longer feels like a partnership. It feels more like a negotiation, a business contract where both sides are trying to get the best deal. It's become a battlefield of unspoken expectations, immense pressure, and deep-seated fears. You have two people, both trying to survive the pressures of the modern world, who end up fighting each other instead of fighting for each other. They turn their frustrations inward, at their partner, instead of outward, at the problems they face together. And let's not forget the huge role social media plays in all of this. It has poured gasoline on the fire. We're constantly bombarded with images of other people's seemingly perfect lives and relationships, creating a culture of comparison that's impossible to win. We see the highlight reels, not the behind-the-scenes struggles. These creates illusions of perfection that no real relationship can ever live up to. Social media also presents us with the paradox of endless choice. There's this constant feeling that someone better might just be a swipe away. This grass is always greener mentality makes it easy to give up when things get tough. Why work on fixing a problem in your current relationship when the app on your phone promises a shiny, new, problem-free person? The idea of instant replacement has devalued the hard work of building something real. Even cheating has been glorified in some corners of the internet. presented as something exciting or inevitable. All of this erodes the very foundations of a healthy relationship. True, deep intimacy requires patience. It requires sacrifice. It requires trusting someone enough to give them parts of yourself, knowing they could hurt you. And these are precisely the things that our generation, wounded and wary, no longer trusts enough to give freely. So, when we see a marriage fail, it's rarely because the love completely vanished. The love might still be there, buried under layers of pain and fear. Marriages today don't die from a lack of love. They die from a lack of emotional safety. They die because one or both people don't feel safe enough to be their true, vulnerable selves, without fear of judgment or abandonment. They die from a lack of loyalty, not just in terms of fidelity, but loyalty in the sense of having each other's backs, of being on the same team, no matter what. They die from a lack of effort. Relationships are not self-sustaining. They require constant work, attention, and nurturing from both sides. When that effort stops, the connection starts to wither. They die from a lack of resilience. Every relationship will face challenges. It's the thought that says, if I give you everything, if I truly open my heart and show you all of me, you might use it to destroy me. People aren't afraid of love itself. The desire for connection, for partnership, for a deep and meaningful bond, is a fundamental human need. It's as strong as it has ever been. They're afraid of being erased, of having their identity, their dreams, and their sense of self consumed by a relationship that ultimately fails. And until we, as individuals and as a society, learn how to build connections that do unrequire until we learn how to love fiercely while still protecting our own well-being, how to be vulnerable without being foolish, and how to build trust in a world that has taught us to be distrustful, marriage will continue its quiet decline. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more conversations like this.